When I test products, when I do demonstrations, sometimes we don't tell you everything up front. The reason why we don't tell you everything up front is because we're waiting for certain individuals who don't know their place, who don't know how to respect batch numbers at the end of the day, who don't know how to respect other people's products at the end of the day. This is how we teach them a lesson. All right, so I remember when we were showing off the gamers, the Phantom gamers, and the Phantom gamers have a really weird, kind of strange color to them. And this individual, I mentioned him in this video, hate to say it, but we're going to have to, Crow 1176, decided to say that he had this product already. And what he failed to notice that when we basically did the pour out, that the Phantom Gamer had a strange color to it. It didn't match gray paint. He was trying to compete it against the Frankenstein, but for some reason he thought the screen was gray, and it wasn't gray. It was a different, strange, different color, and we didn't even launch it yet. Matter of fact, no, we did launch it. We didn't ship it out yet because we had orders still on hold to ship out the items. All right, so today we're going to talk about the 2.0. There are things about the 2.0 we kind of leave out just in case if we get individuals who stumble down this road and they decide to do these false demonstrations. Does the 2.0 match gray paint? Well, we did this demonstration before we shipped out when we shipped out the product to the individual. We did a demonstration. We can go back and check and I'll show you. We did a demonstration about 2.0. Does it match everyday gray paint? The problem is when you have everyday gray paint, there's only two elements in it. It's only black and white paint. And when we take a product and we put it against our screen and it comes up dark and it doesn't match our gray paint, it tells us at the end of the day that that is a product made with black and white paint. So one of the tests that we do against 2.0 is basically putting it against other gray screen paints or other gray household paints, because we need to know at the end of the day if this product is going to be able to do what it's designed to do. Now, keep in mind, the fellow by the name of Crow 1176 failed to do these demonstrations against the Cinemax. Matter of fact, he only did one demonstration. That was the Network Gray 773, and in that demonstration, he matched the screen. Still sells on his website, still advertises on his YouTube channel as if it never happened. So, one of the things we didn't show you, actually I did show you before when we shipped out your product, we did a demonstration on gray house paint. It's sitting right over there. See, that's what I explain to people. If you see us do these crazy demonstrations, and we're very thorough about what we do, what makes you think we wouldn't have tested the screen against everyday gray paint? Now, I'm going to walk in front of my projector. See the color of it? That's a 2.0. And by the way, thank you for the orders. We got I told you, the ripple effect that I not explained to you. If you don't do the test, your customers will buy from us. They will buy this right here first. This is what they're going to buy. And then what's going to happen is when they buy this, they're going to see the demonstrations. When they look this up, we're going to come up. And they're going to say, wow, these guys beat this paint? I'll just buy from them. And that's what you did. It caused a ripple effect. So we're getting your orders already. So let me show you something a little bit more, what this technology is designed to do. Now, as you can see, we have several screens sitting over there, right? Okay, now, we do expect for the lighter screens to pick up a higher white level. We do expect that from the door. But to come out as dark as you displayed, no, not going to happen. So let me show you what dark gray paint looks like next to our technology. Jamie, you have to understand that when I denied your order, sometimes I spare you the embarrassment. Do you know that? Because no one's afraid of what you do. You know, you can't make paint today. I know that. I can see from your demonstrations. But when Mr. Bird denies you, he means he's giving you mercy. Let me show you what would have happened to you. Now, I'm pretty sure you probably ran these tests on our products and you figured out it doesn't work. So you try to figure out other ways around it. If you try to fake our technology, what happens is it doesn't match our technology. It comes up looking like this. Do you see that color that doesn't match our screen? You see that? That's gray paint. That's mixed with basic black and gray. Your products match that surface every single time. Anytime we did any test demonstrations on your product, you matched it. Watch this. And she'll act right today. And she has to act right today. See which one she is. Red screen. bet you she bounces me out, puts me back in on red screen. Don't even ask how that even works. It's just weird. It's been happening all day today. See that dirty image that's pulling up in the middle of the screen? It's not pulling up proper red. That is everyday gray paint. The paint that you couldn't eat. Network Gray 773. Slip silver. Do you see two screens up there you can't beat? Network, this slip silver, that's a huge sheet of slip silver right there. That's Network Gray 773, and that right there is gray house paint. Can't pick up a proper white level because there is no white levels in it. It doesn't have that capability because the screen is using a black substance in it and it's making it's tainting the white levels. That's what's happening. You still have not done the test yet of actually what we call it, the microblend. So we're waiting for Crow to do this demonstration with the microblend. He hasn't done it yet. We're still waiting. What is the holdup? As you can see, look at my environment. No dark environments, no lights pushing out from the side of the screen, projector sitting back at a distance, plenty of light, and you sit in the dark and you can't pass house paint. This is my 2.0. This is what we consider our gray screen paint. Our gray screen paint, our white screen, is so advanced that customers can go into the shopping cart and click and pull all test demonstrations under that technology. They can't do that with your product. You don't even have a proper specification sheet on your product at all, period. It says nothing at all. You can't even match a 2.0 specification sheet. You can't match it. You can't do the demonstration against the microblend, which we've been constantly asking you to do this test, and you've been avoiding it at all costs. And you know what's happening now? Your customers are coming to us. I just saw a spike in my orders up at the 2.0, and yeah, they're usually customers we usually don't see, and we know where they're coming from because we can advertise this product. I can advertise this product all day long and not have a problem because I know at the end of the day, I can beat this product. So what's happening is his customers are probably requesting for him to do this, and he's not doing it. Let me tell you something. You would literally have to put a gun to this man's head and force him onto a camera to do this. He is not going to go through that embarrassment as he went through with the Cinemax. He's not going to do that again. That was pretty bad. That was an extremely bad situation he put himself into. But he's not going to do it. He is not going to do it. And the reason why he's not going to do it is because he doesn't want to go through the embarrassment. He doesn't want to come up wrong. Consider the fact that, crack my screen there. Consider the fact that you knew that you were going to beat something, right? Say you knew you were going to beat this fighter. You knew you were going to beat him. And he ends up beating the living crap out of him. He embarrasses you so badly that you never ever want to step in the ring again. That's what happened when Crow versus the Network Gray 773. Not only did it beat him, it embarrassed him badly. And because of that, he never ever wants to make that attempt ever again. I keep getting the wrong remote control. That's right. We got 3 remote controls on here. Neither one of them goes to this unit. But yeah, that's the reason why he does not want to do that demonstration. Not ever. And because of that, any gray paint that we pull up for him to do, he's not going near it. And I guarantee you, because he wasn't smart, he actually jumped into a battlefield with no strategy and got slaughtered. I guarantee you, this time he's doing his preparations. And what did he do? He went offline. I told you he had to. He went offline. He tested the product first to see how close it would come up, and then he's backing out of it because he knows he can't beat it. You can't pass a basic house paint test. And yet you have a nerve to talk about your product being the best. That's why I said, I got people that are coming in talking about how, I got a lot of your customers that have the Cinemax that have been complaining about how they're doing tests now. They're doing the test that you haven't done. They're trying to see if Mr. Bird is wrong at the end of the day, trying to prove me wrong. And it's not coming out good for you. So like I said, they're doing the demonstration with the slip silver, and they're finding out that it matches your product, or does the same thing as your product. White screen. Because you won't do the demonstrations. That's the problem. A person that can back his products up are going to do the demonstrations. And the fact that you refuse and you're running, this is after multiple times, people, of us going into his account to talk directly to him, to give him the link. So he can't say he never got the links. He can't say he never heard about it because he posted some demonstration, him doing some podcast showing the versus, so no demonstrations. Your feet on this, the more your customer is going to make other decisions. Now, our business strategy under 2.0 was never to take your customers, but now it is, because here's the thing, you're a thief at the end of the day. And if you sit there on camera and say, I'm not a thief, I don't scam people, clearly you do. Because again, the Network Gray and Cinemax is a perfect example of you being a thief. There's a video of you on it. Got to repeat this again, people, sorry. But there's a video of you on it, showing you painting in the screen, brimming with confidence, popping the top, showing the paint, painting it down to a surface, and then bombing on the way down. And now all of a sudden the video, boop, disappears. But not only does it disappear, we catch you trying to remove the other video. Busted. Can't make it up. So now we caught you matching a product. We caught you trying to hide the product, hide the evidence. And then after all that, knowing this man knows all this, you still have the, I'm not going to say the other word, you know what I'm talking about, the B word. I'm not going to say that, BA, what I'm not saying, you know what I'm talking about. To post this on your website, to still have this on your website as if it never even happened. You still have the nerve to come on YouTube and say, hey, this is the Cinemax, so and so and so. Because you figured you already scammed your customers you already got. Let's scam some new ones we don't know anything about. We know nothing about the product. So you can't sit there and say, I'm not a scammer, because it's right there. It's still on your website. But you go to your website, it's right there, still on your website. With that crazy exchange policy nonsense in there. Now, as I told you before, why are your customers coming to us to buy? Even your most loyalists will come here to buy. A dollar saved is a dollar saved, Jamie. You have to understand that's how it goes. Only very few people go down with the sinking ship. Most people, they get off as fast as possible. So, your customers are buying this because Jamie refuses to do the test. We've asked them five submits to him to do this, links, several demonstrations. This will be the fourth request today. Several demonstrations asking him to do this over and over again. He refuses. Now in this test, this is what Jamie has to do. And one of the demonstrations on that Sunday, we saw the Hybrid and we saw the Cinemax. They looked exactly the same. So, got to thinking, we want to see the rest of the paints being tested out. You only did one of them. What about the rest of them? So you still have the personal, and you still have the personal and the Hybrid mix, and you already done the Cinemax. But the Cinemax still needs to be tested against this because people got to know. But anyway, in those tests, he's going to do a thorough test, as we do every day. You've seen the test I just did yesterday on that Cinema Complete. It was freaking madness. So that's nothing compared to what you have to do. Your test is extremely easy. So what he has to do is he has to take those three paints, Cinemax, Hybrid, and the IB Personal, and he has to put this product next to it. This is called a slip silver. If you look at the color of it, yeah, he's going to have a problem. This is going to give him problems. But he still has to do the test. Because, see, the problem is, if Jamie had went in and did his test to begin with, if he had tested his product instead of having a rush product, just getting it out the door as fast as possible to get money from people, he would have noticed that, hey, look, I'm matching this stuff at the end of the day. I need to fix my product, which you did not do. So in those tests, he's going to have to do all three of those paints that we requested. He needs to do them with the Slip Silver and the Network Gray 773, which has left a personal scar on him because of that incident that went down with the Cinemax and Network Gray. Not only does he do on all three of these, but here's the test he has to do. Color pattern. That's one of the tests. That's separate. Contrast levels. That's another demonstration. There'll be no contrast levels with colors in it. No, you'll be doing solid contrast levels with 98% more black than anything else. That's what you have to do. Oh, I got to find the rest of those OLED demonstrations tomorrow, today too. We got testing to do today on the screen upstairs. Speaking of testing, I got testing to do today, and you're scared of this. But anyway, let's move on. I got a lot of testing to do today. Anyway, so with that, he's got to do white levels because you need to know what's the comparison with the white levels versus his product. You need to know that. All right. Also, too, you're going to have to also do, when all those tests are done, you're going to have to complete this on a long throw and a short throw, because if you're going to put down in your specification long throw and short throw, you're actually going to have to do more long throw than short throw, because all your picture demonstrations are basically on your 4K P2. None of those are 720p demonstrations at all. You have next to no outside demonstrations. You have to have at least 40 under your belt to consider your screen. I consider myself, I say 40 to consider yourself an outside screen. We're over 40, way over 40. We're in the thousands area, somewhere in that area. So you got to do that too also. So we want to see what's the difference between its products, indoor and outdoor. We want to see an ultra short throw and long throw. And when you're done all that, what I want to see most of all, I want to see the hybrid mix. I want to see the Cinemax tested against the Network Grade 773, which I'm dying to see that one, and the Slip Silver. This is what you're going to have to do. Now, see that product right there? That's gray house paint. The reason why gray house paint doesn't match our technology, because our technology isn't gray house paint. Isn't that interesting, Jamie? You don't know anything about screen paints, do you? See, that product sitting there in that little square in the middle that's pulling up a darker white level, that's house paint. The technology sitting behind it isn't. That's why we can do this. Embarrassing, isn't it? Sometimes, naysayers, let me explain something to you. I don't show you everything what the technology is designed to do. Some things we hide for a little bit. Nothing that's going to mess with the customer. Customer, you're good. We show you everything you need to see. But these are for the naysayers. We leave out certain things just in case when you start doing dumb stuff, we can embarrass you like I'm doing right now. I don't care what you had in that container. You could have mixed any gray paint on the face of the planet. It wouldn't match this stuff, because the elements that go into this technology don't exactly match things that you get at Home Depot and Lowe's. This is engineered and designed. This is the real deal. Not that house paint you guys got it today that you can't even beat a basic shelf paint. Let me show you the colors of the screen again. Yeah. I get so tired of embarrassing this guy. It's not even funny, people. It's not even funny. And like I said, when we brought the Phantom Gamer, he literally came out and thought the screen was dark gray. Said he had the product. We didn't even basically launch it to customers yet. And that product had a kind of a magenta kind of blend to it. Embarrassed you on camera, did or not? You stay getting embarrassed. But sometimes you have to understand, just because you're reacting on something and you think you got the upper hand, you never do. I will sit back, do my work, come out, and I'll completely ignore that part just to give you a long enough rope to hang yourself. And I think I gave you a long enough rope by now, so it's now time to kick out the chair. And there you go. Now, with that being said, thank you for your customers coming over and placing orders. And again, your customers at the end of the day is a message to you. Those of you who place orders, you will enjoy the product. You'll be able to use your product in a fully lit environment. You'll be able to take advantage of contrast levels you couldn't do on that product in the day, and you will get the most from your projector. There'll be none of that other nonsense being dark in corners and all that other stuff. Calibrate. No, you will not be calibrating a projector. That does not happen over here. So welcome to real technology. Hope you enjoy your purchase. And we have overseas customers who picked up the big bundle. We call it a share bundle. Now, keep in mind, Jamie on his website charges 32 ounces. You charge $168. That's what you're charging. I think that's for 1 quart. 1 quart of our product costs $90, and the customer gets 3 of them. 3 of them at 40 ounces that do over 150-inch screen. Do you have test demonstrations next to any of your products? Nope, none of them. Any batch numbers? Nope, none of them. All right, just wanted to know. All right, let's have a little fun here. You know, we did this demonstration before we shipped out the product to you. We did this demonstration. I did this demonstration, and I can go back and show you. We did several different grade paints, and we showed what they look like next to our technology, just in case if you went in and you tried to make our product look fake. Did you know I did a demonstration a long time on that? We're going to go back and revisit that and compare that to the demonstrations that you did when you faked our demonstration, when you faked our product. I always back up everything, just like I went in and did the verification for the shopping cart and got you for mail fraud twice. So if you were going to go in and tamper with the product, there's no way in the world you're going to do an honest review. That's virtually impossible. You can't do that. So ahead of time, I went in way before the paint reached destination and did that demonstration on the gray paint, just like I'm doing right now. We're going to go back and revisit that video. And I sat there and said in the video, just in case if you decide to tamper with the product, then make it look like something that it's not. Bust it! All right, let's do the screen paint that Crow is afraid of, which is the microblend, which we've been asking them. I will put another request. I got a very busy day today. I have to test. We're going to actual test. We're going to put TES, actual test. We're doing certified tests on the complete cinema. We'll be doing white level tests, black tests, long lumen tests. We're going to do a whole bunch of them. I'm going to try to knock out about 4 today. And then we had the window technology, which we switched over now. We coated the front windows. I'm not worrying about people like, well, you got it. I got everything, man. Put it away. At the end of the day, when I move into an establishment like this, I got people who do glass windows. I got people who do floors and walls and plumbing and all that stuff. Just in case if I jack something up while I'm here, I can call them in and say, hey, look, I need this repaired. Get it taken care of. I'll leave the place exactly the same way, whoop, as it is when I'm coming in and coming out the same way. And I'm nice enough to let them keep the security deposit because I don't need it. All right. So let's get this going. So for the customers, thank you for the 2.0, for the orders for that. We do appreciate that. We just ordered containers, products coming in. We're going to be doing a batch number real soon. Yes, a batch number. I know you're not used to that, but the batch number is, so basically we test our products before we ship it out the door. That's our guarantee that the products work when others can't do that for you. Keep in mind, other ones can't even pass tests, basic tests. All right, let's show you where our white levels lay at with the slip silver on our product here. So we're going to take the slip silver right here, all right, and we'll grab the network gray 773, put it right there. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back in and we're going to go red screen. Oh man, why she's not working today? She's a headache. Red screen. All right, better chance for if I bring my PS4 down here and get it done. See this nonsense? You freshen your batteries too. And these things don't even last that long. Let's just get an Apple TV next. So that's the difference between our product and slip silver by the microblend. And this is what your customers are seeing. Your customers are seeing you not do this demonstration, and they're probably asking you to do this demonstration, but he's not doing it. The more insults you see toward us, the more going on vacation or trying to point things in a different direction is the more he's being pressured. We realize that it's a pattern he gives off. So right now, I'm pretty sure his customers are asking him to do this demonstration, which he refuses to. Oh, and by the way, Jamie, you have to do this in a well-lit environment. That dark environment you keep doing is actually pretty sad. You got lights pushing out here and lights pushing out here and lights at the bottom here and here. No, you don't do it that way. I'm sorry. Cancel. Let's see if there's any selection, because I don't feel like going bouncing in and bouncing back out, bouncing in and bouncing back out.
Fully customized and save $652 with Liberty Mutual. He's got it!
You act like you're not excited to see 16-year-old you.
I am.
What are you eating?
Yummy jelly.
Now, the question is, how in the world did you, your Cinemax, come up showing the 2.0 darker when you match the network grade 773? We don't match network grade 773. So how is that possible? I mean, that's literally you on the video, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure you weren't cloned somewhere in some laboratory. I know you're an X-Men and all, but no, you weren't cloned, buddy. That is actually you on the video. So, and on the video, you match network gray. So how is it possible that you were able to beat our screen when we didn't beat network gray and the slip silver, which you are afraid of? That is definitely his nightmare right there. He is afraid to go near a slip silver at all costs. It's not going to go near that screen. So we have to address them. Oh man, I should have opened the mic. What was I doing? Could have opened the mic. I could have brought him in here. Okay, all right. We got to do a special request. We're going to do it in one hit because we got testing to do today. So what we're going to do is, when we're done this, we have to do a special request. We're going to invite Crow into the room. We'll invite him into the room with the request. This is request number 4 that we're putting up. We need to know some answers. We all want to know some answers. So, mind you, Crow, I'm going to give you open mic requests. I've been actually, a few people have been asking us to keep doing that. I mean, we could get the time in. I can get the time. I'm in between. I got to test these products. I got to get them all done at a certain time. I got to get the lawyers in here to lock everything in, get the paperwork so we can launch the product. Because when I go to the next stage, we need everything done. All tests, the backup products, everything done. Yeah, because all that information has to go into the patents. So I have to know exactly what I have here before I pay all that money out for these patents, because again, I want to be 100% on point with that. But anyway, I got time. So we got to bring him into the room because we got to ask you questions. Now mind you, keep in mind people, when he comes into the room, he does rant. There's going to be a lot of cursing. There's going to be a lot of emojis. A lot of emojis. Mostly just laughing emojis. He does a lot of those. So, you know, we're used to it. You know, it's not professional, but it's how he defends himself. Should we get a certified screen? Because this screen did do certifieds. Let me see. Now, why is Crow threatened by this product? Well, it's $38. It's better than his product. I mean, at the end of the day, look at it. It's beautiful. And again, we can do this. Oh, you know, every time I put slip silver in something, we come up on it Google again. So this is going to pop up again. Anytime somebody goes to look up the slip silver, it's going to pop up. But also, too, what also pops up on there is your challenges that you're not completing. But that's why he's afraid of it. Because the reason why, the whole purpose, Jamie, and the reason why I made this technology was because I got tired of people like you and Partey stealing from people. You get on camera, you talk all this trash, you don't back your products up. Well, I'm in here talking more light than you have in your environment, and look, I can back it up. So you charge too much money, and I said that from the door. Those paints have been up for a long time. I was making those paints 9 years back, well, probably longer than that. Now, if you notice when you go on eBay, you'll see people, with 32 ounces charging under 50 bucks. That's what it's supposed to be. And anytime you see somebody doing like $90 or $89, they have 3 containers. That's how they sell it. But this joker, at the end of the day, has 1 container going for like $80 to $89. Are you kidding me? And that one that matched the house paint, are you kidding me? No. This product's better than yours, and it's 38 bucks. And it can beat slip silver, which you have not done yet. I'm still waiting. So while we wait for you to do the demonstration, your customers will ask you over and over again, and if you don't reply back and you keep changing the subject, what they're going to do is they're going to go to Amazon, they're going to buy the paint. And as they're buying the paint, guess who's going to pop up? We're going to pop up. And they're going to see the demonstration like, gee, was this guy basically did the test already? Let's buy from him. There you go. Get your customers that fast. It's like pipeline your customers. It's not intent for you to take them. It's showing that there's something better out there than somebody sitting in the dark with an overpriced projector. Again, the slogan, saving you money? No, you're taking money at the end of the day. How are you saving anybody money? I showed you people that you saw 2 customers he claimed were on these Epson projectors, right? If you notice that the images on the Epson projectors doesn't look the same on the P2. He has the P2 sitting in the dark. He has a 2 million to 1 contrast. Other projectors he's using will have probably a 10,000 to 1 contrast. It doesn't look the same. Contrast is washed out, colors are washed out. How come it doesn't look the same? Because in order for you to get that image, you have to buy that projector, which means how is he saving you hundreds if number one, he has a product that's untested. At the end of the day, you could be getting anything shipped to your front door. You don't know what you're getting at the end of the day. And on top of that, you're paying for overpriced paint and you have to buy an expensive projector just to get that image. But if you use anything else, it's not going to come up the same way. If it was the screen paint, then when he did the demonstration, lights on the lights off, he would have got the same image as he has on his website, and he doesn't. There you go. So that means you're going to have to spend $3,300 or $2,000 or whatever to get that projector in order to get that image. That's what you're going to have to do. And you'll be in the dark and you will calibrate. That kind of evens it up, right? $90 for a product and $3,000 for a projector. That's what you're going to have to do. Where in our technology, our customers can use a $130 projector, $150 projector, and get an amazing image. Oh, this is a certified screen, right? This is certified. This is DMP Supernova. So now we have a $5,000 projection screen sitting in the center of the 2.0. It's $5,000. Let me see. Now, for those of you saying, why are you riding this guy so hard? Because he's a scammer. And he's stealing from people, that's why.
Bring savings home for the holidays. Right now, Hobby Lobby's Christmas decor is 50%.
And if anybody wants to sit there and say, oh, he's not a scammer, well, yeah, the network grade deleted video and the fact he's still selling the product on the website, yeah, makes him a certified scammer. It does. What other way are you going to explain it? How are you going to explain it? Woo, too heavy. Way too heavy. You got it? I think we're too heavy. One more, we get one more too much. Let's bring this in a little bit. Now, why do we have this here to begin with? We do this when the screen's wet. Of course we do. We do this when the screen's wet. Don't worry about it damaging my it's already painted screen. Do this one for a minute. There we go. My job over here. Yep. That's better. Yeah, we put this stand up here. When the screen's wet and we're doing the batch numbers on them, oh, yeah. The screen behind it's going to pull a higher blue. It's a black screen. That's why they're designed to do that. That's what the black screens are designed to do. They pull much heavier contrast levels. I told you heavier. Come on, I explained it to you already. We're not going down that road again. Yeah. Now, again, these are venues. Again, I can't explain this enough. When you talk about you do venue projectors or you don't do venue projectors, this is a remote control of a venue projector. You see those buttons on there? Some of those buttons, you can tap them and they'll pull up two different menus. I have 13 versions of a Keystone on this projector alone by itself. It has picture-in-picture capability. These projectors do things that other projectors don't do at the end of the day. Yeah, that's why I like the venues. And options and things are freaking amazing. All right. So as you can see, we have two certified screens laying against the screen, network grade 773 and the slip silver. Let's get some white paper out here. Here. There. So, and it's brisk and cold. This is the way I like it. This is the kind of weather I like. Get another certified screen too. All right. There we go. How about we do a gunmetal too on top of that. Let's get a gunmetal in here. Oops, sorry, upside down, my bad. The kind of company. There we go. Did you do any of these tests today? Any of these demonstrations? You do any of these at all? You don't at all, period. Because your product is a rush product. So we already know that Cinemax is a scam paint. We know that from the door. And you claiming that you beat it at 2.0? No, never happened. That never even happened, Jamie. at all. This stuff doesn't even match everyday gray house paint. Doesn't match anything we have up here at the end of the day. No, not gonna happen. Let me see, I need, blue screen. Jump bounce me out, watch. Definitely picking me up on Amazon. I mean, whatchamacallit, what do you call it? An Apple TV. Things are weird. YouTube.
Here's YouTube.
Does that make any sense? I don't know what she know what YouTube's at, but she don't know the color. Oh, I'm telling you. I told you. There's no way in the world we wire voice recognition software into the houses, new houses that all, no, oh heck no. So what happens, the funniest thing I've ever seen is where the guy had everything in the house, all boys, a fireplace on, coffee, make coffee, TV on. And then he went to the dentist and they pulled one of his wisdom teeth and he couldn't talk right, and guess what, he couldn't get in his house. Couldn't recognize his voice. That's like that OnStar, kind of asking for it. They were answering people's doors, are automatically opening it up while they were driving. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Trust the computer with my doors on my car, so when I'm driving down the road, you know what I mean, at probably about 60 miles an hour, and my doors just open up on me, I just roll out this sucker. Yeah, there were incidents about that. Remember the airbag incidents? Yep. Yeah. Give me an old-fashioned car that you can roll the windows up and down any day. Anybody driving one of those, man, it's like, even though, yeah, it's a tank at the end of the day, but man, the way they make cars today, have you seen the bumpers on cars today? Are you kidding me? Oh, man. Real quick, off topic. When I used to do verse skating, me and this guy called Rashi were over at Universal City doing some skating. He pulled the bumper off the back of somebody's car. I know, when you're young, you do dumb stuff. Everybody did that whole tailing behind the back of a car, hold on to the bumper. Yeah, a lot of people got their bumpers ripped off. But you knew, you lived and learned, never to hit bumpers like they go for the old-fashioned cars that had the steel bumpers on the back of them. But anyway, he was in the process of buying a car, and he grabbed the back of his car and tore the entire bumper clean off of the car. I was jacked up. But anyway, and when realizing what he had in his hand, of course, we weren't roofers at the end. We all worked. We had jobs. We made money at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Some were lawyers, some were doctors, some had jobs working at warehouse where we made some money. Okay, but we paid our dues. If I ripped somebody's bumper off at the end of the day, my bad. Sorry, so and so and so. How much so and so and so, and give them some money on the spot because you know you're going to do dumb stuff at the end of the day. And you got to be responsible. You're going to be jacking stuff up at the end of the day. But anyway, long story short, anyway, let's get to it. So he ripped somebody's bumper off, and he's holding the bumper hand like, oh heck no. No, this ain't going to happen. So the reason why he was upset, because when he pulled the bumper off, there was some styrofoam here and styrofoam here and some rubber padding in here, and they put the lights in here, lights here. That was it. You know what the bumper looks like on a 1971 Cadillac? You ever seen those bumpers before? That bumper takes two people to lift up. It's a heavy steel bumper. You nail somebody with that, their car is going to be wrecked. You're going to have a couple of scratches, but they're going to be wrecked. So, yeah, he went out and bought himself one of those. He bought it looks like the joint from freaking Chevy Chase. Oh man, I can't think of the vehicle that he was driving. I can't think of the name of it, but you know what I'm talking about. With the double headlights and all that. It was just a huge family Brady Bunch mobile. That's what he bought. But that thing was, usually the older vehicles are better for putting sound systems in because they're better basically insulated. The cars now, because it's a bunch of plastic. I'm sorry, people, for those who have these cars, but it's true. I mean, if you take an old-fashioned car from back in the day, a 1957 Chevy, and you take a Honda Accord, a newer one, not the older ones, and do a side-by-side, and that car hits your car, yeah, you're definitely done. And then back then, if your car got damaged, you could basically just hammer out the door and sand it down, putty it down, whatever. I'm not a mechanic in the day, but you get a car today, you got to replace the entire door. You're not hammering that out. No, sirree. So, if I was going to do a car, man, if I was going to do a car, I like 57 Chevys. I like the ones with the wings in the back. I do one of them. I get one solid jet black. Solid jet black. Everything on the car, jet black. Wheels, everything, all jet black. Low skirts, all jet black. But I would do the inside in bone white. That's how I would have it. Scotch guard the crap out. Very few people would be in that vehicle. Well, I'm germophobic. No one would be in that vehicle. Who am I kidding? Okay, certified screen, certified screen, certified screen. No, hold on. Yeah, certified, white sheet of paper. Certify, network grade 773, certified slip silver, fully lit environment. Now, I don't know. I'm not gonna go down the short of this guy, but anyway, yeah, you got to do the test of the slip silver, man. You can't avoid that. I know you don't want to do it. I know you don't want to do it, but you have to do those demonstrations. It's very important. Your customers need to know what they're buying. And again, I mean, I'm in no rush for you to do the test. I mean, you're not doing it for me at the end of the day. You're doing it for yourself, and you're doing it for your customers. But the longer you take, the more and more your customers I get. They're just going to come to me and buy because we can back it up, just like I'm doing right now for fun. Except for I'm doing certifies against mine. You would never request to do certifies. I throw them in just for fun. So that $38 paint can beat a $5,000 projection screen and do it in a fully lit environment. Like Jamie sits over there in the dark showing you Christmas colors off the screen with a bunch of neon lights on. This is quality. That's not quality, buddy. It's kind of light you got to have in your environment. I don't know what you got from those Christmas colors. Oh, forget it. We're not going down that road. It's just too much. It's too much. It's a joke. I'm sorry, people. His product's a joke. These are real test results. This is what you're supposed to see. Not some screen submerged in the dark with all these colors flashing around the screen and talking about this is quality. No, it's not quality, man. That's a joke. And again, I can't express it enough that the Cinemax is network grade 773. It's a scan paint. So you need to pull it off your website. You need to take it off your website, number one. You really do. That's a slap to people. Basically, you robbed at the end of the day. You need to pull it off your website, and you need to basically drop all videos under that product. Matter of fact, don't even speak of it ever again until you come up with something that's tested and doesn't match house paint. All right, so if you're interested in getting the product, we have it on the website for $38. Overseas customers, we don't ship the $38 because we would get killed in the shipping. But we do have it at $90, and with $90, you get three 40-ounce containers. And the shipping's free, no surcharge fee. Think about that. You're going to pay $168 for one 32-ounce of a product that has no tests, no batch numbers, and again, it matched house paint. Where this technology doesn't match house paint, it doesn't match certified screens. It can be used in a fully lit environment because it is ambient light rejection technology. We do have that on the container. We don't tell you it's not and then try to fake that it is. It is ambient light rejection. And we have our customer, John T, showed up a bunch of beautiful demonstrations, snow levels, color levels, absolutely beautiful, very happy customer. If you compare John T to his demonstrations compared to Crow's customers, all of them sit in the dark. He's not sitting in the dark. He's in a fully lit environment. There you go. So anyway, on top of that, you get it for a reasonable price, no surcharge fee at all. You will get three containers of 40 ounces, not 32, 40 ounces. Sky's the limit. Paint whatever you want. Paint your custom, paint your friend's screens. You can share with a bunch of friends. You know what I mean? It's fantastic for gaming. It's a good wholesome screen paint. And at the end of the day, you're not getting robbed. If you're interested about the test demonstrations, you can always go to the website, click on the link, and it'll take you directly to the 3-hour test demonstrations. It's quite long. All right, we're past this already. Oh, wait. I forgot something. I got to show something really important. Sorry about that. Contrast. You got to see contrast, right? This is something they never show you in demonstrations, right? All right, we got to go through this nightmare with the machine, but we'll get through it. She does not want to act right today. This is what I got in my search. Let go of that, please. Let me see. I haven't done a search real quick. Let's see if we can bring it up on here. Let's figure this out. Do we have it there? Oh, we do have it right there. You spelled it wrong, but still, it'll work, right? Let's go to 8 days an inch. There we go. Contrast levels. Jamie, something you failed to show in your demonstration. Desperately need to be showing contrast levels. Let's go pop over and let's grab some contrast for you guys. Now, it's easy for us to do this because we did this in the test. That's why. Because our product's tested. There we go. No, it's not that.
If we want to build the future, we're going to need some things. Like the skills to become the world's most powerful builder.
There we go. Now, this technology has a shifting. We call it contrast shifting technology, which allows the screen to be able to accept darker shades of gray, not black. The only screens that have that capability is the screen sitting behind it. But still, at the end of the day, Crow's customers, and I'm sorry to say Crow's customers, but it's true, Crow's customers can't do this. We can give you this challenge on a Starfield demonstration outside. You couldn't do it. Versus the slip silver versus network gray, and they wouldn't be able to do it. And that's a clear sign right there that your product is having problems. If I have to get up and I'm about 14 feet from my screen, and if I have to walk all the way over there to take my camera and show you, like, look, there's a difference, that's a failed attempt right there. You should be able to see the difference from way over here in a fully lit environment. That's a huge red flag. When anyone have time, someone tells you, okay, come here. I want you to walk over here with me. We're going to walk over to the screen. Right up close, right there. You see the difference right there? I'm just sitting there. If you were doing that in front of me, literally, I'd just be looking at you like, we're done. Because there's no way in the world. I got to get that close to the screen to see the difference in contrast. And when I look through the demonstrations, you see me skimming through the bottom. I'm looking for a contrast level, like a really serious dark contrast level. Nothing. Now, I saw the demonstration you did with the snake and the boa constrictor and all that. The problem you have with that is you weren't picking up anything at all. Now, this screen's not going to pick up anything. It's going to match that black screen in the background. That's virtually impossible. Only that black screen can do that. But again, it's going to come out dark enough to be able to beat the certified screen that's sitting right there. That's a gunmetal screen sitting right there, right? That's gunmetal. So if you notice, if the gunmetal's reflective surface is affecting the screen's contrast capability, especially in a fully lit environment, because they're used to using an ambient light controlled environments to begin with, that's one thing we notice about when we study these screens. We need to see where their weak areas are at. And weak areas, we notice when it comes to certified screens, they use a lot of ambient light controlled environments. We do the opposite. Knowing the screen can't survive in that environment, it's going to have problems in a conflict with color and contrast and white levels. Whew, that was a lot. But anyway, you see how the color comes up right here? See how it matches the network gray 773? See how the white surface is pulling up a slightly lighter contrast level, but this one's a little better, not good, but a little better. And this one right here is matching the network gray 773. But you see that all together? But next to our technology, this stuff would have a problem. So a $38, if I wanted to basically crush a certified screen, I could literally design a technology that would be so below that it would be strictly designed to wipe them out. That's it. I can literally basically develop, like we're doing it right now. We're actually showing you how we can do this with the gray screen paint, with particular gray screen paint pods. I don't care about the rest of them. Hope to make money, become successful, love them all. But the particular ones that are fakes and phonies, we're showing you an example how we can do this. I can literally, the capital of our technology is black. So that black technology brings in enough capital for it to be able to support that screen paint there. That's what pays for that screen paint. These screens make good money. So we make so much money off these screens that we can afford to go in and design a cheaper screen that everybody else can relate to, but everybody else can afford. Some people can afford it at the end of the day. But the beautiful thing about that, we can make that technology so good that it'll blow out a certified screen easily. It'll take on any gray screen paint easily. And it'll still cost $38, which means to use certified screens, I can develop technology under 67, and I can turn around, I can develop a technology that would probably cost the customer roughly somewhere around $50 to wipe out your technology, to match your technology or overpower it and say, look, we got something called the, we can't call that, we get sued for that one. But anyway, but you know what I'm talking about. And it's not going to harm us at the end of the day, because people are going to think, good gracious, if he can design technology that costs that amount of price, what does the top technology do? People who want the top technology are going to spend the money for the top technology. Just like I told you the whole theory about the whole Lamborghinis and Bugattis. You know, walk into a showroom and say, who's going to pay $500,000 for a car? But somebody must be paying for it, because the car is still there, the factory's still there, the business is still there, so somebody's paying for it. Just like if we go in and we develop a high-end technology, people are going to want the best. They're going to go for the high-end technology. But then you have some people that may not be to get that, but they want something just as close and something just as good. And we can develop a technology just so, like so, But we can make it and price it to a point where it can take out a high-end certified screen, which it's doing right now. How would they compete with that? Their capital would implode. You have to understand, it's a business at the end of the day. You can't take a screen that costs $5,000 and reduce it to 38 bucks. There's going to be a massive ripple effect that's going to go off. Shareholders and stock and everything else, the board of directors, all that stuff is going to have issues. They can't afford to do it. They can't afford to come down to our price. So, if I were to go in competition, which I'm not in competition, that's kind of the way I am. If I were to go in competition with a certified screen, I can really strictly design a formula that's designed to not only wipe out their technology completely, but cost far less, knowing their capital can't come down to that because it would keep completely implode. And at the meantime, I can develop higher technology and put those two side by side to show you the comparison. This is a more advanced version than this one. People will actually swing to the higher ones. We're going to spend that money at the end of the day. That'll keep our capital flowing at a nice pace. And then in the middle, where you have the technology that's a little bit lower than this one, that still has the ability to knock out a certified screen, that will keep our customers from going to the certifieds, and they will come strictly to us. So I can crush one company at the same time. We're actually making capital at the same time. But we're doing it right now as we speak. Jamie's product, yeah. We're actually crushing this product at the same time, and then we have new technology at the same time that's rising. Business strategy. You have to know how to run. Business is more than just basically at the end of the day, just crunching numbers and all that stuff. It's like a chess game. It's strategy. It's kind of like war. It's kind of, you have to know. And anytime I go in and I study any one of these companies, I have to go in and I go through tons of their demonstrations. I watch hours and hours and hours of their technology. I need to see how the screens react on ultra short throws. If they're actually doing a lot of demonstrations on ultra short throws, that shows me at the end of the day they have some issues. Maybe they have issues with long throws. Maybe they have issues with fully lit environments, because an ultra short throw demonstration I consider it to be a cheap demonstration because, again, there's no distance throw. If there's no distance throw, that means the screen's going to be to maintain a much brighter and sharper image because it's sitting right on top of the screen. And then with having that 100 inches, it can compress the pixels to give it another sharper and brighter image on top of that. When you're using a long throw, on top of that, you have to worry about how many lumens you're going to lose before it reaches destination. There's going to be enough lumens to maybe fire up the screen at the same time. That can conflict with color. It can conflict with color and white levels. All that stuff can trigger off because of the distance throw. Because some people think for some reason, because you start off with 4,000 lumens, you're going to end with 4,000. No, it doesn't work that way. Depending on how much light you have in the environment, depending on how many lumens you're going to have left over. This is why when you buy high-end projectors, like these big boys over here, they'll come with 5,000 lumens. Initially, you do not need 5,000 lumens at all, period. But that's basically, what do you call it, collateral damage. So, all right, for instance, really quick, just explain this. You got a screen sitting about 18 feet from your screen. Your projector is 5,000 lumens. The screen requires the minimum of probably about, let's say 1,000 lumens to get the screen to trigger off, right? Depending on if you have all these windows here, and if you have all this condensed lighting over top of you, they're going to calculate how many lumens they're going to lose from traveling from 18 feet to the screen. You have to make it to the screen with a minimum of 1,000 lumens in order to get the screen to activate. So they know when you start off with 8,000, 7,000 lumen projectors, you will lose lumens as it starts to travel. That's the collateral damage. It has to make it to the screen with a minimum of 1,000 lumens in order to get the screen to activate that requires 1,000 lumens. See? That's how it works. So there's no way to work. So keep in mind, when we do demonstrations outside, at 13 feet away from the screen on 1,000 lumens, imagine how much is left before it hits the screen and the screen is totally black. And then you have the size of the screen can become an issue too. That's another problem, because now you got a bigger screen, the pixels are going to be stretched out even more, they're going to have more stress, you're going to have 10 times more light hitting the screen, making contact with the screen because there's a bigger target for ambient light. Then you got to worry about that too. So when you see us outside at 18 feet back on a 250-inch screen, now on a screen with a snowstorm and that light's reflecting off the grass, that shows you how much gain the screen is pushing off. Gain has to magnify whatever it hit. I write a book. You know, it's funny, when I first started off, I didn't know jack about this. None of this. You couldn't, if you put a projector in front of me, what the freak is this? Because when I came up, listen, the last projector I was on CRT and 35 millimeter. That was it. That's the last one I was on. That's it. 35 millimeter. That's how it was when I was going to school. I remember the last time I went down to a school to see my younglings. I remember that they brought in, they do everything streamed now. They stream it all now. I remember I saw the VCR. I saw, oh my goodness, I remember seeing it was the slideshow. God almighty. If you ever had the nightmare of going through a neighbor slideshow, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You ever had the neighbors that always traveling, always going places, and they would come home and they'd bring home this big shoe box full of freaking slides, and they would narrate through it. You know how long those freaking narrations were? They went on forever, and they were the most boring noise. Oh, I'm doing it myself right now. Anyway, but I went through that. So we had neighbors that went traveling. It was cool to see the pictures and all, but they would go, oh, you remember that when you was in the pool, you had the pina colada, you supposed to leave, oh my goodness, they would go back and they would talk about this and the other, and you'd be sitting there in the dark room watching slideshow after slideshow after slideshow, like you were going through some kind of military interrogation. Yeah. But then I remember when I was a kid, I remember reel to reel. That's how it was when I was coming up. They would wheel it in, they put the reel on it, and they would basically feed it through the projector, and you get that. That'd be the sound coming off of it, and you just see lines coming up and down the screen. Yeah, and then the funny part was when the reel would pop, or basically would snap, and it would just start spinning around, and people would be making, because you had an empty screen with nothing on it, and people would start making animal puppets all across the screen and everything, carrying on. Yeah, that's how it was when I was coming up. I still go back on YouTube and I watch those old education videos. I love it. Charlie and Betty are basically about to experience a whole new world. They're under the working field, but they're both going to have jobs at the end of the day. Way to go, Charlie. Way to go, Becky. Yeah, I remember those. So you made your first dollar, your first paycheck. What are you going to do with it? You could spend it on things you don't need, or you could be a responsible adult and put it in the bank. I miss those.
Look up. Look a little closer. Nothing is what it seems. Supernatural, now streaming on Disney Plus.
If you go to the website and you only see the 100-inch acoustic screens, yeah, we're about to basically close that up real quick. And the reason why? Weather changed in Philadelphia extremely fast. I was expecting maybe a couple more days of warm weather, but it is cold outside, which means I don't spray when it's cold. So, let's see. End of this week, we're removing everything. You're removing them out the shopping cart. And we tell you that's a seasonal screen. Literally, that's a seasonal screen. Not someone saying it's seasonal, and no excuse of why it's seasonal. We only spray them outside, and we only do them when the weather's nice. So, yeah, it's getting cold outside, and I don't plan to be out there with it. So, if you're interested in one, you have until Saturday. After Sunday, we're going to actually remove them off the site. Screensaver. I gotta take this upstairs and test it. She's supposed to say getting that from YouTube. She's not saying it. She's all kinds of messed up today. She's not working. serious. Change my batteries real quick, see what happens. See if she can get it together. Do it so. Trust it everywhere. Now, I don't want anybody thinking that, oh, he's doing this because, no, it's not. Jamie's weird, man. It's not about nobody being obsessed with. No one's obsessed with you, man. No. You steal from people. That's the problem. You know, if you were doing wholesome, real demonstrations, you were telling the truth, you weren't doing all these little gimmicks like putting up, oh man, I can't believe that's what we saw that one on Sunday on Frankenstein, on him trying to fake an ambient light environment. And he literally had a light right here, and he had a piece of plastic against it, like something blocking it. And the reason why he had the plastic there, because the light wasn't pointed here, it was pointed this way. But he had it tilted up just enough, so when he went over with the camera, it made it look like it was giving up all this light. None of that light was making contact with the screen. It was actually going in that direction. They said somebody told him to put a piece of plastic there because it would basically reflect the light back to the screen. All you got to do is just turn the light to the screen. What kind of dumb nonsense is that? That's what I said. Sunday, when we saw them demonstrations in there and just listened to them talk, I was like, my goodness. Do they really think people are that dumb at the end of the day? But literally said that in a demonstration, sat there and had a piece of plastic right there, huge piece of plastic, or fiberglass, where he had something there. And he had the lamp tilted up just enough so when he brought the camera over, it looks like there was a lot of light coming off it, like it was bouncing toward the screen. And he made some dumb excuse for, oh, the reason why that's there, because that's to reflect the light off the surface onto the screen. Then why don't you just take the light and turn it toward the screen? That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. The reason why he had it that way, because he didn't want you to see that the light wasn't hitting the screen this way, it was actually going that way. That's why in the next video I slowed it down and I looked, I go, okay, I see what he's doing. Oh my goodness, man, it's freaking unbelievable what this guy does at the end of the day. But, you know, despite all that, you know, it all comes down to one thing, man. The fact that, you know what you know about the Cinemax, you know what it is, you know, he's still selling the product, the videos that they're showing you what he's doing. He's just scamming people, and that's what I got tired of, man. I got tired of people like him just robbing people at the end of the day, so that's why we bought this product right here. And of course, yeah, we knew he had to buy it. He had to buy it. He had no choice. And he had to try to make it look bad because, again, it threatens him at the end of the day. But you don't got to worry about that threatening. You got to worry about that slip silver threatening you because that's doing some damage to you right now. Can't do the demonstration. Your customers are going to keep coming to us and buying. Nobody, you can sit there and say, at the end of the day, what customer is going to sit there, if you post that video to your website, the Network Grade 773, and the one you have, the red hoodie, post it to your website. What customer is going to come in and go, that's $89, and this one over here is $17 a gallon, $26 a gallon. They're going to go with that instead. Your slip silver is only like $47 a gallon. A quart of it costs around $17.03 or $19.99, which sounds like a weird date. But anyway, that's what it is. And then on top of that, people are laughing at the fact that when you were trying to add up on how expensive it is, a gallon was towards your product. Come on, man. Are you kidding me? Everybody buys paint in the day. We're not that dumb. We know that already from the door that when you buy paint, say it's like $30 a quart. You buy something, I don't know why it would be $30 a quart. But say you buy $30 a quart, right? And you go out and you want to get a gallon. They're not going to charge you $120 for a gallon. It's like a $20, $15 difference. I've been in Home Depot those a dozen times buying paint, and the first thing I'm here is like, oh, what if I get a gallon of it instead of a quart? How much is that going to cost? Well, that's like a $10 or $15 difference. What if we're going to sit there and tell you $120 for a gallon of paint? That's insane. You can go someplace else. That's some serious paint at the end of the day. So no, they don't do it that way. They do it by $20 or $15 difference. That's what it is, most likely. But he's talking about, he's adding it up at, and then at that, you got your calculations wrong. If you pay $40 a quart, 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't know where 2 came from. I definitely know where 8 came from. I don't know where 6 came from. You had it at 4. And then you said $80? Well, how would that be $80? That's $160. That's what it would be. But there's no way in the world it's going to cost you $160 for a gallon. That's stupid. If this is going to cost you $160 a gallon, what's 5 gallons going to cost you? Man, That doesn't sound, it doesn't make, he bothers his hire contractor to come and do the job. That's not the case at the end of the day. And they're going to charge you more money because they got to spend all that money for the paint. No, it's only a $15, $20 difference. That's all it is. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Hundreds. It's crazy. $80. I paid $80 for a gallon of paint. And that was not the stuff that you had in the day. The $80 I paid for paint was a high grade fluorescent white paint that I used to paint one of the rooms in. And that paint had a lot of specifications to it that your product that you were painting did not have in the day. And I got that from Sherwin-Williams. And that wasn't emerald. That was something else. They had some kind of high-end paint that they had over there that I paid for to get that white bright color out of the room we're doing at the time. All right, let me see if she's working right now. Starfield screensaver. Oh, she's a jerk. She's supposed to be getting that from YouTube, but she's not seeing anything at all. All right, let me go up and should we swap out our fire sticks? Because this one's being a jerk. Figure out what's wrong with this. Man, this is the new remote control too, I bet. Where's the other one at? I can get some other demonstrations off of this, but we can't because the fire stick's being a jerk. Look at another fire stick. So we don't 4 or 5 of these things. Man, I go to these things so much. I spend so much money on freaking fire sticks. It's gonna buy myself an Apple TV and probably that one. Why? No, it's still there. Whatever it be. Come here, babe. Come here. Mr. Francis, Mr. Francis. You don't know that? I got a cat feeding called Mr. Francis. He's getting there. It's getting there. He's trusting me. I might get a chance to scratch him today. Maybe. I'm going to get him here. I'm going to get him. Shit, what am I doing with this? Oh, I forgot this is going someplace else. What am I doing? I had to plug my freaking fire stick into my phone. Mr. Francis! Mr. Francis! Mr. Francis! Mr. Francis is coming with me. Mr. Francis. So I got 2 master bedrooms in the apartment. I'm taking one from my office because I really technically never going to sleep in any of the bedrooms at all, period. I'm going to get one of those giant sectional sofas for my setup, sleeping on that. And Taco's going to get the other room. So Taco and Mr. Francis, if I can get them, is going to have their own master bedroom. I'm going to put giant cat castles in it and everything. Pretty cool. I'm going to hook it up. It's going to be cat paradise for both of them. Hopefully we can get Mr. Francis in there. But he's getting there. He's getting there. He's starting to trust me a little bit more. I'll delay my shipping. I'll delay my moving date so I can get that cat. I want that cat. Because I can't imagine, man. I've been feeding him for about a year. And I just can't imagine me being gone and him coming here for food and there's nobody here. That'd break my heart at the end of the day. So I need to make sure I get that cat. You don't have to pay SPCA extra. Whoever got to pay extra. You can get that bad boy from me. So that way, at least I can take him in and get his shots, and check up, whatever you need, get that all taken care of, and then get him transported. I want to have to basically sedate him because he's going to be a little bit wild for a bit. Because again, Taco walked into the house. He already let me take him in. But this one, again, doesn't. And nobody owns him. Don't worry. I know that. I talked around the neighborhood. Nobody knows. Nobody owns the cat. So anyway, get him all taken care of. And then I'm pretty sure when he gets to the new place, he's basically going to just hide most of the time. But that's good. If he hides for a year or so, whatever. But at least I know he's safe. I'm getting him tagged with Mr. Francis. Mr. Francis and Taco. Now we got to change the fire sticks. The other fire stick was being, it doesn't acting right. Let me see. Are we on YouTube here? Starfield screensaver. My George, this one too, or is it just the downstairs that does this, which is weird. It seems to work upstairs. Oh well, we'll just figure it out. We'll get through it. Watch this. YouTube. Yeah, flashing at the bottom.
Here's YouTube.
You're witnessing this, people? Like, are you witnessing this nonsense? But if I call for any command, she won't pick it up. But if I call for YouTube, the menu, oh, here's YouTube. But she's not, yeah. This would make a great fire stick commercial. My goodness. Let me see if we got in there. We can put it here. My goodness, unbelievable. This would make a fantastic fire stick commercial. There you go. Fire stick will drive you to drink. I'd rather just use my PC. I got my PC running upstairs. I'd rather just use that instead because I don't have to worry about any voice. Just going and typing and be done. Okay, just paid into that though yesterday. Oh, fantastic. Now you see the contrast levels, like I said, are fair. This is what we had. When we wrote down the specifications for the 2.0, we put everything in there. We did all testing and everything is legit done by the book. It's a fair contrast level. If you want darker, then you have to go to that screen sitting behind it. But unfortunately, you can't get that screen behind it because that screen's not available yet. That is actually sitting behind there. It's a Fusion Gamer. But until then, if you look at the 2.0, yeah, certified screens, great paint, yeah, no problem. Let me see, we'll go over our time here. We're going to, let me see. Oh, sorry, people. I got to do an order update for the 2.0s that just went through, and let me see. We got to do an open mic. We got to request Jamie to come in. There's questions we need to have answered. We need to know why the microblend tests are not being done yet. What's he dragging its feet for? It has to be answered. He should be doing it. If I was doing the same thing and I wasn't doing my tests and I had product matching black paint, I was doing the same thing he was doing, I suggest people ridicule me too also. You can't go around doing that. Look, man, if you were doing it as a hobby and let's say you weren't taking any money from anybody at all, period, all right, then that's a different story. But you literally are taking money from people, which makes that fraud. So, in fact, you still have that item still sitting up there on your shopping cart, and it shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be on your website at all, period, knowing what you know what it is. Yeah, it's a scam. So people who already know, that's a slap in their face because they know what they have done, how they know how you cheated them. And the other half that don't know, well, they're going to fall into that same trap. You're just as worse as the fake projectors. They go up there and they lie about their specifications, and people buy them and they get cheated. You're just the same thing. So let's go in, we'll come in, we'll get this out of the way, because I'm actually going to come in and address this every day, and it needs to be addressed every day. He needs to basically test his products or stop selling them. That's what he needs to do. That's what it comes down to. Test your products or stop selling. Stop taking money from people at the end of the day. And you seriously need to remove the Cinemax off the website. You really do. So we'll be back in. We'll put the fourth request for the day, and we'll put an open mic in requesting for Jamie to explain the network grade video, also too, why does he have this still on his website? We need to know this. He needs to remove it. And he needs to do the test against the slip silver. We can't express that enough, man. The network grade and the slip silver. There's no excuse. You should have had this stuff by now. All right, we'll be back in request 4 coming up. Unbelievable. This guy's unbelievable.